Hey guys, it's the Joker here back to you today with another video, and today I just wanted to take the time to talk about the fact that I really wish and do believe that Eminem should have released his Kamikaze rap album, his first surprise rap album that he released in the year 2018 when he was 45 years old, that he unfortunately released on August 31 in the year of 2018. I myself would have much rather preferred it, in my personal opinion, if he would have released that album of his on May 26 in the year of 2018. And here's the thing, he would have done that, but he would have then had to release his revival album earlier than when he actually did. He released his revival album on December 15, 2017, when he was 45 years old. But if he had instead released his revival album on, say, when I personally wish he would have, being September 10 in the year 2017, when he would have been only 44 years old, and during, that age and on that specific exact month, day, and of that year, then, that would have been 3 months and 5 days earlier than when he actually did release his revival album, because, September would have been 3 months earlier, and before he actually did release his revival album, or 3 months before December. And if he had released it on the 10th of September like I personally wish he would have, then that would have been 5 days earlier than when he actually released it. So 3 months and 5 days earlier. So if he would have done that, as he definitely should have, at least in my opinion anyways, he would have then obviously and of course released his Kamikaze rap album earlier in the year, which would have made me really happy as an Eminem stan, because he would have released his Kamikaze rap album earlier in the year 2018 and not so fucking late in the year as he actually did. Instead of releasing it on August 31, he would have released it 3 months earlier, which would have been May. It would have been the month of May, because, that's 3 months before August, because, July of 2018 would have been 1 month earlier. June of 2018 would have been 2 months earlier. May of 2018 would have been 3 months earlier than when he actually did release it. And if he released it, if he released his revival album not only 3 months but also 5 days earlier, this would have also resulted in him releasing his Kamikaze album 3 months and 5 days earlier, which would have then been on May 26. Because, what's 31 minus 5? 26. I just wanted to make sure, so I was kind of counting in my head. I just wanted to make sure I was, right and correct. And, I would have just loved it if his Kamikaze rap album came out earlier in 2018, not like at like the very beginning or like early in the year of 2018, but like around like the middle of 2018. So like almost, like in June, but not quite yet. Like still within, I would say the first 5 months of the year of 2018. And, I also wish that there would have been better, beat production behind the songs on Eminem's Kamikaze surprise rap album from 2018, such as the fact that, I personally wish that he would have had, Madlib, the producer Madlib, or maybe even Ninth Wonder, or even one of the rap producers that is really close with Eminem, being The Alchemist. I mean, there was so many other great rap producers to choose from rather than Illa the producer. I mean, some of the songs had great beat production behind them, but some of them, just sucked ass and were garbage. I fucking hated them. And, he had a bunch of, rap beats that were produced by, Mike Will Made It or whatever, which were dumb as fuck. And, I hated some of the features on it too. Like, the song Nice Guy, which featured Jessie Reyez. Not that she's a bad singer or anything, but a lot of people hated her hook on that song, and I can't blame them. People described her hook on the song Nice Guy like nails on a chalkboard, and I couldn't agree more. That's a perfect, way to put, her hook off of that song. But you know what would have been probably better than Jessie Reyez on that song, especially knowing that he had already featured Jessie Reyez on one of the songs already, being Good Guy, which she actually did, a better job on that than she did on Nice Guy. Nice Guy should have been with Rihanna, if anything. At least in my opinion, I think Rihanna would have been a much greater and better choice than Jessie Reyez being on like two songs, because usually Eminem doesn't even have, the same artist on more than one track anyways. So that doesn't even really make any sense. So I think Rihanna would have been a way better and greater choice than Jessie Reyez for the song Nice Guy. I also wish the song Good Guy featuring Jessie Reyez would have been longer. I feel like that song was just too short. And that's my personal opinion. Good Guy is one of the best songs off of his Kamikaze surprise rap album, and it was just too short. And what's interesting is the music video is even longer than the audio version of the song, because in the music video version, Jessie Reyez starts the song with like her incredible, amazing hook that she does on that song. And then after she does the hook, then Eminem comes in and does his, rap lyrics or verses or whatever, if you will. And then, after that, Jessie Reyez does her hook, one last time. So on the music video version, she does her hook twice, whereas on the audio version, she only does it once. But even then, it's still just too short. And I love that song. I fucking love the shit out of it. It's literally one of the best and greatest rap songs Eminem has released, especially, when he was in his 40s. And, the beat was, just cool. It was one of the best rap beats Eminem has rapped to in a while, in my opinion, at least. And I really do wish the song would have been longer, or at least that the audio would have been as long as the music video, whereas the audio would have started with Jessie Reyez's hook and then go to Eminem rapping, and then at the end have Jessie Reyez do the hook for like the outro or end of the song. But sadly it wasn't, which pisses me off. On the song Fall, I wish that the hook on the song Fall, which honestly would have been one of my favorite songs off of his Kamikaze album, if he wouldn't have had Justin Vernon do the shitty bitch-ass hook where it was like fucking auto-tune and you couldn't even understand a damn fucking thing that idiot was even saying. And I don't mind auto-tune when it's done right. Like Kanye West, when he does auto-tune, he does it right. He does it just like the perfect amount of auto-tune. But Justin Vernon just overdid it with auto-tune. And, I would have much rather preferred The Weeknd being on the song Fall for the hook, which I feel like would have also made sense, especially knowing that in 2016, The Weeknd had Eminem collaborate with him on The Hills remix. So Eminem could have, returned the favor, and he could have had The Weeknd do the hook for the song Fall. And, that would have just been perfection at its finest. And also, if Eminem would not have been such a bitch and would not have censored the word faggot when dissing Tyler, the Creator, on that song, I mean, honestly, Eminem should not have censored the word. I mean, it just goes to show that Eminem is such a little sissy girl nowadays, and such a little like feminist and SJW, and it's just sick. It's sickening. I mean, come on, Eminem. I mean, you were still saying faggot on your Marshall Mathers LP2 album, and you were 41 then. You were 40, 41 years old. But, you know, at the age of 45, 46 years old, you can't say faggot anymore? Come on. Grow a pair of balls, man. So not only should he have had The Weeknd on the hook and not fucking Justin Vernon in his stupid bitch-ass auto-tune garbage hook, but also Eminem should not have been a sissy little SJW feminist bitch and should not have censored the word faggot. You know, the song Greatest, it was a good song, but it definitely could have had a better hook, or somebody else should have done the hook, because the hook that Eminem did was fucking trash. I mean, literally, on that song, on the song Greatest off of his Kamikaze album, his hook was fucking trash. Literally. Just utter trash. Because, you know, on the hook, he says, greatest in the world, greatest in the world. I feel like the greatest ever do it, greatest ever do it. Like, no, I'm not feeling it, Eminem. Once Eminem actually starts rapping on that song, it's good. And the beat is good too. But when he did the hook, like, oh my God, the hook is so cringe and corny. Stop it, man. Get somebody else to do the hook, for the love of God. I mean, seriously, you should have done that. You should have gotten somebody else to do the hook for your song Greatest off of your Kamikaze album. You really should have. Let's see, what else? His song Venom off of his Kamikaze album. That's another song that, you know, was good, but the hook was utter garbage. And the hook is really the only bad part of that song, where he's like, Venom, Venom, got no Venom, show my Venom. No, Eminem. You should have had someone else do the hook. Seriously. Like, sometimes when it comes to the hooks that Eminem comes up with, they're cringe and corny. They're bad. And it just goes to show you that Eminem is not always the best to do the hooks, which is why he should get someone else to do the hooks for them. And, you know, I don't know who would have fit perfectly on his song Venom, who could have done, you know, a much better and greater hook. I don't know who would have been good for a hook, but, you know, it should not have been Eminem, is all I'm saying. Let's see. Let's see. You know, his song Not Alike featuring Royce da 5'9", one of the best songs off that album of his. There is no denying that. Lucky You featuring Joyner Lucas, perfect song. You know, couldn't get any better than that. But, you know, one thing I wish about his Kamikaze surprise rap album is that it would have, you know, had more tracks and would have been longer and better beat production behind some songs off of it. And, you know, the reason why I wish he would have had, you know, more tracks on that album of his, as well as a deluxe edition, is because, you know, this way he could have collaborated with more rappers. You know, I wish, like, Kendrick Lamar would have been on his Kamikaze album, along with J-Rock, Absol, and Schoolboy Q. I wish that Mac Miller would have been on Eminem's Kamikaze album. I wish XXXTentacion would have been on his Kamikaze rap album, on like a really depressing, melancholy song. I wish Boogie and let's see, Conway would have been on his Kamikaze rap album that he signed in like 2016, 2017. I wish, you know, Kid Cudi, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Skylar Grey, Busta Rhymes, Tech Nine and shit like that would have been on his Kamikaze album. But that's only if he would have had more tracks, as well as the deluxe edition, of course. But, one of the reasons why he didn't is because, he wanted to make it similar to the Beastie Boys rap album from the 1980s. He does like a modern version take on their cover. I forgot what their album was called that they released, back in the 1980s, but it has like a similar cover. And Eminem did like a modern take on it. And on their album, they only had around like 13, 14 tracks. And so Eminem wanted to, make it similar to that by keeping it to that amount as well. But it's still just unfortunate because, I don't know, either that or I wish he would have released 2 albums in 2018, like Kamikaze and Kamikaze 2. Or like a Music to Be Murdered By deal, like side A and side B. I don't know. I just wish he would have had more features and more songs, because his Kamikaze rap album was one of his best rap albums in a while, since like his Recovery album. And he released one of the greatest diss rap songs from that year as well, Kill Shot. Man, like the fact that he made and released that song at age 45 is incredible, is literally outstanding. And I love it how it just sounds even like a throwback Eminem type of song. And I love it how he also like disses Diddy on that song. And then at the end he goes, "I'm just playing Diddy, I love you," to do like a throwback to his song Kill You off of his Marshall Mathers LP album. Because at the end of that song, he's like, "I'm just playing ladies, I love you." And on his song White America off of his Eminem Show album, he says, "I'm just playing America, I love you." And then on his Kill Shot song, he says, "I'm just playing Diddy, I love you." And I just love that he does a throwback like that. It's just so nostalgic and just awesome. But, it's just, it's sad that Eminem, never collaborated with Mac Miller, not even once. And not only would I have loved it if Mac Miller would have been on Eminem's Kamikaze album, if it would have been much longer, as well as including a deluxe edition, or have like a Kamikaze and Kamikaze 2 or side A and side B deal, or I don't know, something like that, is because, they would have been so good on a song together. And I would have also loved Eminem being featured on Mac Miller's last album that he released when he was alive, which was, I think it was called Swimming or something like that. Like his album that came out in 2018. I wish Eminem would have been on that so that they could have had 2 songs together. I wish Eminem would have at least collaborated with XXXTentacion once, if not twice, because, 2018 was the last year that XXXTentacion was still alive, but sadly got murdered that year. But, the reason why I think that Eminem should have collaborated with him is because in 2017, XXXTentacion was the only one who was defending Eminem's Revival album. There's this audio you can actually listen to of XXXTentacion defending Eminem's Revival album for the song Walk on Water, when everyone else was pissing and shitting on that album and song of his. XXXTentacion was defending him and that song, which was really dope and fucking cool, because Eminem was one of XXXTentacion's biggest influences before he became famous. So it would have been awesome if Eminem would have, honored him by including him on that album of his, and also like on XXXTentacion's 2018 album, if Eminem would have been on a song with him on his album as well. That would have been fucking dope. But I can only wish that would have been the case. And also, like, it had been a while since he collaborated with Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar would have been a, perfect fit on that album of his. And also like 50 Cent and Dr. Dre, Kid Cudi, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, at least on the song Nice Guy. Maybe he could have collaborated with Beyonce again. I don't know. Jay-Z, perhaps. There's just a list of people that he could have collaborated with off of his Kamikaze album, but he didn't, because not only did he not have that many tracks on that album of his, but he didn't release a deluxe edition, didn't release a Kamikaze 2 or a side A and side B type deal like he did with his Music to Be Murdered By albums. So it's unfortunate he didn't do that. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say in today's video. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.